Hi guys, it's Ryu with another tut for Blender and Box Cutter Mastery Part 2. So let's talk about custom cutters and how to create them. I omitted that information on purpose from the previous video because I thought it's a bit too advanced for completely basic, information. So anyway, in the D menu, you can see different types of shapes, so circle and then box, and gun, but we also have a custom shape, right? So how do we use the custom shape? There are many ways of actually extracting or saving or creating custom shapes in BOXCUTTER. Now one of them would be by first creating a shape that we want to use as a custom shape. So let's cut this cube a few times. Let's perform some slices and maybe a cut in here, another cut, maybe another cut in here, and maybe something on the edge. And maybe let's get rid of this, and that should do. So now if I'm going to create a new cube, right, and move it here, I will go to my D menu, click on custom, click on the shape, press C, and on the bottom you can see that custom shape was created. Now if I click on the shape I want to bool, if I draw a box, you will see that I'm creating a custom shape using information from that box on the right side. Right. Another way of extracting a shape from an object is by using a Y cut. So if I'm gonna go to box and select this area and cut it and then press Y, you can see that the color shifted to black. Now if I click on that, that saved another custom cut to my library, and I can use that now to create a custom cut, right? When performing a custom cut, okay, let's select this object. I can alt scroll between different booleans, alright? You could also use C to flip between them, okay? So I can select which cutter I want to use for my custom cut, right? Another way of creating a custom cutter is the new self-cut function, which was introduced by a new box cutter released like 2 days ago. So what you need to do is copy the shape that you will use as a cutter to cut the shape you copied it from, and it will evolve every single cut you perform. So if I select this cube, right, and I'm in a custom cutter, right, so you can see I'm in a custom cutter here. I press C to grab this cube as a custom shape and I perform a cut, well, everything is fine. But if I perform a second cut, you can see that now this cutter is grabbing that shape from the top that I created. If I perform another cut, the shape will keep changing the more cuts I'm gonna create, because the cut is sort of evolving with every single cut that I perform. Now, once I create something like this, I can go to box, select this area, go down, press Y, and extract it as a cutter. So now I have yet another custom cutter. So if I move this, duplicate this cube and move it here, I can use this new cutter to cut shapes in my mesh. Look at that, we created a room with one cut. I love box cutter. It's just too much fun. So that's a third way of creating a custom cutter, right? And now let's say we're gonna cut all these things in here, right? Now again, I can use this box, copy it as a cutter, and use this whole structure as a cutter. So you can go completely and absolutely nuts with box cutter. Eventually, you're gonna have a cutter so complex that in one cut you can literally perform a cut that could pass for a building or, you know, some kind of a random technical maybe asset, something that could be used in the background. So custom cutters are an extremely powerful way of creating very random shapes. You could create fantastic maybe greebles or some maps for some sci-fi alpha displacements, you know, normal maps, etc. In a very, very easy way. So the question now is where the custom cutters are stored. Well, they're stored in the same place, at least for now, as other cutters. So in the cutters collection, there's an option here that allows you to choose a collection for cutters, but it's not really working fully yet. At the moment, we just have cutters collection, which is also great because at least things are organized. So when you perform a custom cut and you watch this list here, when I alt scroll through the cutters, you see the list is shifting. So custom cutter is simply pulling from this list, is pulling custom cutters to apply to your mesh. So that's what's happening in here. So be mindful that in the future, for instance, if you want to remove some cutters from this collection, you might also be removing custom cutters. Cutters can be renamed, so you could do that. But you know, they all stored in one place. That's a short video for custom cutters and how to work with them. Hope you enjoyed the vid. I will see you in part 3.